Uh, Good evening, everyone. Paul has decided he needs to mute his. He's turned off his camera to get ready. So, it's bloody hot in there. Oh, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Toon Review. I think Paul needs to take off his Michael Myers mask, and he's going to be a moment. So, oh my God. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's West Ham versus Newcastle United preview, the TTR Friday Halloween special. There he is.
How are we doing, guys? Welcome to the Toon Review, as Alex has just said, for tonight's show. We are previewing the game, of course, against West Ham United on Sunday. Kick-off 2 o'clock. I could not keep that mask on because I couldn't see for a start. It is unbelievably hot inside that mask. And it now has to stay in here for the rest of the year because the dogs are shit scared of it. But as you can see, folks, I am joined tonight by Mr. Stato. Billy is off tonight. Sam is away at, I believe, some kind of get-together in Whitby, some kind of gothic get-together. Tom says apparently my mic sounds a bit low, Alex. Does it sound low?
It is a little quiet, yeah. Because I've got my volume turned up pretty high, and you are quite quiet.
How's that?
That's better.
Yeah.
Much better.
Okay. Nice. Just adjust that. So welcome everybody. And if you do enjoy tonight's show, please do give it the thumbs up. And of course, do subscribe if you are new to the channel. Welcome everybody. And of course, super chats are available. That's the $ at the bottom of the live comments. And that will guarantee your comment to be read out on the show. If you want to, send in a super chat and tell us some rather embarrassing stories about yourself and Halloween costumes and things like that, we will get through them as well, as obviously previewing the match. Dave Bannon is a new member of the channel straight off the bat. Welcome, Dave. Thank you very much. And Samsonite Dove says, so the Halloween event was you decided to take off your makeup and show your true faces. But I mean, we've heard that before, Alex, haven't we? We've heard it all before. Hey, there you go. And thank you to Susan for those emergency graphics, which she decided to do at the last minute. Fortunately for us, Alex, we didn't come out of that looking too bad tonight.
Speak to yourself.
Fair enough.
It was all right.
It weren't too bad there at the start, Alex. There wasn't a problem there. I thought you looked pretty good. Now, did you see have you seen the press conference, Alex?
I have not, unfortunately. No, I've been rather busy today, so we'll learn together.
Not a lot. I mean, not a lot's changed, to be honest. Certainly on the injury front. Asula is still nursing an ankle injury, which we knew about earlier in the week, but he's fit to go. It might well be that Lewis Hall could be in the squad, which is great news, of course. If he is in the squad, that's a boost. Obviously, he won't start the game. He said he hadn't actually trained with the squad yet, which was a little puzzling. He said he'd been on the grass a while, hasn't trained with the squad, but they're hoping to get him involved today. So I assume if he's involved today in training, he could be in the squad. But it sounds like they're being very careful about him.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's West Ham away, who are currently having an absolute shocking season and are going to have to. I mean, they're currently steering towards an iceberg. They are going to go through the trapdoor if things don't change for them. So normally we're not very good in games like this. So I hope that stops and we kind of stop the pattern of losing to teams we should be beating. But yeah, West Ham are not in a good place. So realistically, this is probably the game where I wouldn't rush Lewis Hall back, even for a spot on the bench. Does it really matter? Lewis Hall is a fantastic talent. We need to nurture him. We need to make sure that he's fit, firing. As soon as he gets fully match fit, I don't want to see him out of the left back spot for the rest of the season unless it's for rotation purposes. So we need to be very careful with him.
I mean, he was asked about the rotation and things like that, and certainly the question he's got to sort of ask himself and over the weekend leading up to Sunday is who plays centre back. You know, he wasn't asked about Chow. It was mainly who plays Botman or Fabian Schär. And he
Chow's
obviously
undroppable at the moment, so
exactly, but he wouldn't give a definitive answer either. He just said that, you know, he'll make a decision on that, but it's he sort of swerved away from it and said that, well, that's not the only position that I have to think about. Whichever way you look at it, somebody is going to be disappointed. You know, whether it be in the centre back position or anywhere around the pitch. And it's true, because there is certain positions that, you know, he does have options now, and some people will be disappointed with his lineup.
Yeah. This is a slightly different situation to the Carabao Cup fixture against Spurs. I was nervous about over-rotating and trusting players that have not performed, i.e. Joe Willock hasn't really performed when he's been asked to play in recent months. Did show up against Spurs, which was great. Emil Kraft, again, just hasn't really been used ever. So we would just question marks over, is it going to be a strong enough squad a strong enough 11 to beat a team as good as Spurs? Ultimately, yes, it was. So we need to be consistent with that and beat West Ham, because West Ham are absolutely nowhere near what Spurs are. And
they are shocking this season, aren't they, West Ham? They really are poor.
Yeah, I mean, we fortunately, I think we're getting a little bit better at this whole football malarkey. We've been doing this for a few years now, and our pre-season, what do we call it? Pre-season predictions of the Premier League. We had a little chat about all the teams. I think Wolves and West Ham were the two teams that we all talked about as a group that we were nervous about. West Ham being quite a historical, iconic club.
Yeah,
it's nice to keep the traditional clubs in the Premier League. I know that sounds a bit anti-competitive, but you know, they're on the map. It's a shame to see teams like that struggle. And yeah, we were fearful for West Ham and Wolves specifically in the summer, and it has panned out like that so far.
Yeah.
The only one that we didn't predict was Forest, because we didn't think Nuno was going to upset the owner and that was all going to go wrong. But Wolves and West Ham, yeah, specifically. So we need to make sure we do not lose this game, because we need to get back on the horse properly. We're still in 12th place in the Premier League. We need to accumulate points. We can't just rely on home form and good energy. We need to pick up 3 points away from home sometimes. And this is a team in the relegation zone. I think 19th at the moment. So,
well, teams have given them a good spanking this season, Alex. And, you know, we're due to really, I would say we're due to hammer somebody, aren't we? You know, pardon the pun with the hammering, but, you know, it seems to be a case of, and Eddie was asked this morning about, you know, he said we had a couple of clicks to go until we hit top gear. And he answered that with, I can't remember saying that. However,
he
then went on to say, yeah, he definitely said it. But then he said that really there's always extra clicks to be found. And I think, you know, he won't come out and say, yeah, we've hit top gear or anything like that, because he's not going to, because Eddie is the type of manager that wants the very best, that wants to keep achieving the best and wants to improve on every occasion. So we're never going to be, in Eddie's eyes, perfect, because he wants us to do even better every time we step on the pitch.
Of course, he's a winner. He wants to be as good as possible. He wants to win every match. To a fault sometimes. He historically has made substitutions or pick lineups. Some would say naively. I wouldn't. I would say it's obviously on purpose, because he just wants to win as many games as possible. He wants to win the next game in front of him, and he says as much in his interviews. So, but on paper, West Ham 20th for goals conceded this season, 2.2 goals they're conceding on average per game, and they're scoring an average of 0.8, not even a goal a game. So if we hit averages, we beat them 2-1. That is bare bones averages. Well, yeah, so if we can turn up
bare bones score, Alex, I would look.
I'm
hoping for a bit.
A 2-1 away win is bare bones based on averages so far this season. If we can actually get into third gear, we can score 4 or 5, because they're poor this season. 2.2 goals on average per game. I would consider our attack, when it clicks, to be better than average. I know we've not shown it in every game in the Premier League this season. We've shown it in the Champions League, so we need to do it in the Premier League as well.
We've got Michael McIntyre with his super chat. Hi all, play some spooky tooth evil woman Toon. Oh, is that just a fantasy you have, Michael? Ian Fleming says, when are you taking off your mask, Paul? But PD Proudlook, 2 years as a member on the channel. Thank you very much, Peter. We can beat these despite our away form at the moment. These are awful, and I've heard their fans are planning a protest as well. I did hear that. So it could be a very uncomfortable atmosphere, and if we can score early doors and even dump it on them even more, that'll just create toxicity again inside. I mean, it's an awful stadium, to be fair. It's not a football stadium. It's bloody awful. Warren says, I am loving this squad at the moment. Best we've ever had, in my opinion. And Dave Lamb says, evening, gents. Happy Halloween. Do you think Eddie is learning to orchestrate his new problem of being able to rotate, a luxury he hasn't had before? Well, he was asked, Alex, if this is the best squad of players that he's ever had in his managerial career. And he said yes. But he said it yes, but obviously doesn't want to disrespect any of the players that have played for him in the past, of course. But he says with what he's got, you know, the much bigger budget and things like that at Newcastle United, obviously, than Bournemouth had. So you've got to take that into consideration as well. But it is.
In his defence, in Eddie Howe's defence, he's got the league finishes and the cup participation and everything. He's earned the right to spend the money. Because the club would not have been able to spend the money it has if we hadn't have had 2 seasons of Champions League participation, a cup win, better league finishes, it's better for the TV companies, the broadcasting. So Eddie's earned the right to spend the money he's spent to build the squad, categorically. So we can't take that away from him. And secondly, also in Eddie Howe's defence, when he's tried to rotate historically, the rotation players have let him down, and we've lost to absolute dross. No disrespect to League One and League Two teams, but we were losing to League One and League Two teams quite regularly every season. It was a problem, and we were losing a lot of games. You know, think back historically to your Luton when they came up, and we were losing a lot of games we shouldn't have been losing.
Was that the game you predicted that we destroyed them?
It was indeed. I had an absolute mare there. So in Eddie Howe's defence, when he's rotated significantly, the team have let him down. So we're only now just getting, and even I've got trauma on this because I was really nervous about playing Emil Kraft and certain players because it's always gone wrong. So this is the first time where we've put up a heavily rotated side and beat a good side. So it's changing. But this means nothing if we don't beat West Ham. We've got to be consistent.
Well, when we beat West Ham, Alex, in March, when we beat them last March,
historically, okay,
at the London Stadium, they haven't won at home since.
Ooh,
so
it's not bad, is it? Oh dear.
They haven't won at home since before we beat them.
I don't think they've refreshed properly because who was that? They bought that midfielder that we were looking at. That he was going to go to Dortmund and it fell through. What was his name? Was it Alka? Something? It wasn't Alka. No, that's the striker.
I mean, if it's fair, Alex, they've made some managerial fuck-ups along the line, haven't they?
Well, but they've still got like your Thomas Součeks, and they've still got a lot of the players that they really should have rotated. Like they've had a lot of money in, a lot of success, and I don't think they've built properly on the team.
They sold
Kudus for a lot of money.
I mean, the one, was it the Europa League they won or the Conference League? I can't remember. I think it was
the Conference League.
Yeah, they don't seem to have, gone on from that. Which
they've still got Ward Prowse on the books, Thomas Souček. I mean,
the fans aren't happy with what's going on. That's a certainty.
Yeah. Fulkrug's not worked. I mean, I don't think that's West Ham's fault because I was an absolute fanboy of Fulkrug. I thought he was incredible for Germany and incredible in the Bundesliga. So that was just unfortunate. But
I mean, he was linked with us once, wasn't he, Fulkrug? I'm sure we covered him on a transfer show. I'm sure
we did, but he was about 30 when we were linked with him, which was definitely a little bit too old. And he was definitely past his peak when he's come to the Premier League, unfortunately, and he's struggled with injury.
Yeah. Warren is telling me that my glasses are wonky.
Oh, that's fine.
I don't have straight ears, actually, to be fair. Since I broke my jaw, my ears are very wonky anyway. But sorry, Warren, if that's putting you off, mate. Jamie Legg says, Eddie will emphasise not to take this for granted. Yvonne has gifted a Toon Review membership. Warren, of course, with my gigs are wonky. And Joe Wilkinson has also gifted a Toon Review membership. Thank you, Joe. And big hugs and cuddles to you and your husband as well. Hope he's okay. Now, we did get to speak about Callum Wilson, Alex, which a lot of people are saying, hey, you know, this could be Callum Wilson's opportunity to get one on Newcastle. Eddie was very, very complimentary about him, and as you'd expect, saying that he loved Callum, loved working with him at Bournemouth, loved it at Newcastle United. But what he did say is there is time for change in football, and football moves on. So because he was asked whether it was his decision to let Callum go, or was it somebody above him? Now, he didn't answer that, but what he did say was, from what he said, I got the impression that Eddie thought it was time for Callum to move on as well and make way for somebody else who's going to be on the pitch a lot longer than Callum will be. But he said that a fit Callum Wilson is a fantastic striker, and we've always said that, you know, but it was clear at the back end of last season when Callum did play that, you know, time was up.
For the level that we wanted, yeah, and for the way we play. Because to be fair to Callum Wilson, we do play in a very demanding way. Like, let's not forget, we bought Voltemada in, who just played the back end of the Bundesliga season. They won a cup. He went to the U21 Euros and he was playing lots of games. He was fit. He was firing. He was ready. He had a bit of a pre-season, and he joined us, and he just cramped up at halftime playing for us straight away. Like, I appreciate it. He did have some time off. However, I think that just goes to show that the way we play is pretty. Not only is it the Premier League, it's a byproduct of the Premier League, and it's also the way that Eddie Howe's teams set up. There is such an expectation of you to work hard, and Callum Wilson could not do that anymore. He couldn't play the way we wanted to play. We would have to adjust to Callum because he just turned into a fox in the box, and we needed more from our striker. We just did. It's not anything on Callum. It's just one of those things. He's still a fantastic finisher, and I have no doubts that if he's given a chance, he'll probably score against us. You know how it is. So we've just got to make sure we score more than one goal.
He does have the opportunity to do that. Of course he does. However, you know, I think we'll keep him at bay. I think our centre-backs will keep him quiet. We'll just have to wait and see.
Again, Callum, a fully fit Callum, as Eddie Howe has said, is a fantastic striker. He's a very good finisher. You know, we've seen him score bicycle kicks and little chips and back. Like, he's scored all sorts of goals. He's a natural finisher. So sometimes it doesn't matter if he's in the right place. It doesn't matter how good you are at defending. He's one of those strikers that can just score from anything. So we've got to be ready for that, and we've got to make sure we score more than one.
Non-conformist says Cal against Forest earlier in the season was amazing. Came on, scored, and changed the game for West Ham.
Yeah, I saw that.
Just away from Sunday's game, Alex, I don't know whether you've seen the news that Newcastle will be heading to Manchester United on Boxing Day. It is the only Boxing Day fixture. They've changed it. So Newcastle go to Old Trafford, Boxing Day, 8 o'clock kickoff. What do you make of that?
I mean, it's appeasing the Northwest, isn't it? It doesn't really help the Northeast. I guess everybody's off work so they can watch it on telly. Like, it's. I think it's the controversial bit is the fact that they've moved all the other fixtures off of Boxing Day because they don't want to do it anymore.
Well, some don't play till the 27th, Alex. So,
but then they put ours on. So it's
and 28th.
It is a little bit of a shame considering how many games the players do have to play. And I don't want to hear any keyboard warriors going, "Oh, they earn all the money for it." Yeah, but again, they're not robots. They've got emotions and feelings and families. And some of these lads, you've got to remember, in their early to mid 20s, I don't know about you. I'm close to my mid-30s now, so I was an idiot when I was in my early to mid-20s. So the fact that they've got so much money, they've got to stay grounded, professional, look after a family, like just let them have Christmas Day, man. It's ridiculous.
Well, probably not going to happen. Eddie's going to get them in Christmas Day. You just know that. Julie, whose partner is a West Ham fan, says West Ham don't want Callum at the club. Why, Julie? What reason have they given for that? That's interesting.
Well, yeah, but I think their targets were a bit higher.
Oh, absolutely. I can understand.
They won the Conference League and they sold Declan Rice, and they wanted to try and progress from that. So I absolutely agree with any West Ham fan that he's not happy with where they are now, because they were going to try and they brought in Lopetegui. They spent some of the Rice money. They wanted to progress and try and cement themselves as a top 8, trying to get in European competitions, and it's all gone wrong. So absolutely they should be angry. And no offense to Callum Wilson, but Callum Wilson is not going to progress you to a top 8 side anymore. He's not.
No. George with a super chat. Hope you're well, buddy. Wearing my TTR hoodie, working in the garden when the postie introduced himself as a TTR member. Cheers. Geordie is his name. Well, thank you for the super chat, George. And Geordie, thank you very much for being a member of the channel and for delivering the nation's post. It's a job that I wouldn't be able to do at the minute. I'd collapse after a mile or so of walking with a bag of envelopes on my back, but there you go. Now, let's have a look. Games, Magpie 50, games do get moved if there is any clashes. Yeah, well, I mean, it always seems to be Newcastle. I think Man United, Newcastle, Alex, seems to be over the years. I think this is the 5th time that in recent years that it's a Boxing Day fixture.
Yeah, it does seem to be quite a common theme. That we normally play the reverse fixture in October as well, because it's normally been in and around my birthday, sort of when the takeover happened. It was a few times, like Matty Longstaff's goal against them was in the first week of October. So it's normally October, December, unless I'm just remembering incorrectly. But I mean, I guess, should we be happy? Does that mean that we're the pick of the bunch for the telly? I don't know. Well, I'm not really asked, to be honest, because they'll just give all the coverage to them anyway.
It's on Sky, so Sky will be desperate for Man United to turn us over. Yeah, it's
absolutely,
100%.
For anybody, just for context on this, for anybody who didn't watch the Spurs game the other night, I had both sets of commentary on. I can't remember who the commentator was. Paul thinks it might have been Sam Matterface. I'm not convinced. I can't remember who it was. And he stated, towards the end of the game, he was saying, I think they started an attack, Spurs did, and they went, oh, here comes North London.
I remember you saying that, yeah.
Okay. And then a couple of minutes later, it was and Spurs host, Spurs, after some of their tough away fixtures, finally are back at home, and they face Chelsea on Saturday, and then they've got the Champions League in the following week, and then they've got to do this, and then Thomas Frank this, and then third in the Premier League this. It's like, hang on a minute, guys. We're the Carabao Cup holders. We are the current champions.
Nobody seems to realise that, though, Alex.
And we're winning.
Yeah.
Why are we just talking about Spurs? Like, honestly, it threw me.
Nobody seems to realise that we hold that trophy. It's all about everybody else
on our shirt specifically because of that. I thought this was going to adjust. Like once we started competing in the Champions League and we won a trophy, I thought the narrative was going to shift, and I kind of don't feel like it has enough. The needle's not moved as much as I thought it was going to move.
No.
I'm surprised, considering Spurs finished. Where did they finish? 17th.
Yeah, 16th? But look at the way Sky went on after the game on Wednesday, Alex. You know, about almost half an hour about shoelaces and how there should have been a foul for the second goal. Joe Linton should have been sent off for.
It's a psychological issue.
Yeah,
it's really concerning. And this is not me calling
should have been sent off for thuggery.
I'm not calling out broadcasters or punditry or pundits specifically, but it seems to be a collective. There's a few, like Pardew does us the world of good on TalkSport. There's a few out there that seem to give us a good spin. Most of them don't seem to have caught up with the fact, and clearly don't watch us very often, that we have changed, and we deserve a seat at the table now. And
yeah,
it's not happening.
Graham says, this is very serious for a Friday night. Has Sam lost her goldfish bowl? No, Sam's in Whitby. And to be fair, Friday nights are now the match preview nights for the weekend games. So TTR Friday is very much sort of a very sort of special thing now, which will come along during international breaks and things like that. We were hoping to do a bit of a daft Halloween special, but two of the four missing that, we'll just concentrate on the game, really. We have another Warren. Oh, dear. Alex, you're an idiot. When young, don't believe it. I've no idea what he's talking about.
Oh, thank you, Warren. It's because I said I was an idiot when I was in my early 20s, and he says no, he doesn't believe it. So thank you, Warren.
Oh, okay. Dave Lamb's also gifted a membership. Thank you very much, Dave. Much appreciated. Kit says, why not play 2 Manchester or London clubs on Boxing Day? Also, why not midday? Imagine travelling back at midnight or staying at overpriced hotels overnight. Well, the problem is, Kit, we know now that the fans don't get any consideration when they're doing the games. They will make their decisions and stick to that. That is it. There's no way in hell that they think about the fans. Sophie says, I have a feeling West Ham might get that battering that I feel has been coming, to be honest.
Well, I don't want to jinx it, Sophie. I don't want to jinx. I've been talking about this for the last 2 weeks.
No, we don't want to jinx it, Alex, but yeah.
Somebody is due one, certainly.
Well, it is. And if we want to, we want to keep progressing in the Premier League, Alex, these are the games that we have to do what other teams have done and gone to the London Stadium and give them a hiding. Yeah.
Some of the attacking patterns we've displayed in the Champions League and in the last couple of games, we are ready to bend someone over quite severely. I just don't know if it's going to be this Sunday, but it's coming.
Yep, bend them over and whip them. Dave Barron says, am I missing something? Boxing Day has always been a football day. Every team should play on Boxing Day. It's religion. They've changed it, Dave, over the last few years, unfortunately. I know that, even Christmas Day at one stage was a footballing day. They changed that then to Boxing Day. And, for some reason, they've changed football fans. This is where the fans come into it again. Football fans loved Boxing Day fixtures. It was part of the calendar, and now they've moved it. So it's pathetic, if you ask me.
I do agree historically, but it's the fact that they've moved everyone else, off of Boxing Day, and left us as an away fixture on Boxing Day. I just think it's a bit, they've cancelled it for everyone else except us, basically.
Well, Rich is right here that Man United playing at Old Trafford is an away fixture for their supporters.
That is true. Look, they've got to get the London train up, haven't they? So
they have, yeah. So that's a very good point. Moving again to Sunday from our point of view, Alex. Wissa's not going to be close. There's nothing changed on Wissa at all. He was asked about him this morning, and he said that he's working very hard on the grass, but hasn't trained with the squad yet, and he doesn't want him training with the squad until he gets the 100% go-ahead from his coaches, he's wanting basically him to be literally 100% fit before he even starts training with the first team. So he's still a little bit away, not sure when, and he wouldn't give a date for him. Now, incidentally, he was asked about the midfield three, Alex, and this was interesting because he was asked, saying that the midfield three seems to be the first names on the team sheet. That seems to be your midfield. With other people sort of looking from the outside in. And he was quick to pull the reporter up on that and say that that's never been his main three midfielders. It depends on the game. Now, I had a snigger at that because I don't think that is true. I think Joe Linton, Bruno, and Tonali have been his go-to midfield for a long time now. But now he has options, doesn't he? He's got Jacob Ramsey there. He's got Miley. And, Willock didn't do too badly on Wednesday night, so he's given himself a good shot in the arm. So he's got options now, hasn't he?
A good shot in the arm? Is that what they say, is it?
Well, I thought he was all right.
I just never heard that phrase before.
Okay. I might have just made that up, to be honest, like I tend to do. New quotes and words leave my mouth, Alex.
I think the midfield three is the midfield three. I mean, historically, there were moments where Joe Willock was better than Joe Linton because of his counter-attack and his pace, his assists. I'm going back a couple of years now, though, for that to be a thing, unfortunately.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Ramsey, of course, being a more nimble technical alternative to Joe Linton. And Miley, I mean, he referenced in an interview recently that Miley sees himself as one of that group in the midfield. Not that he's just learning and aspiring to be like them. He considers himself one of them. So he said stuff like that recently anyway. But I think it's the right thing to say, isn't it? It's politically correct. It means that you're giving everyone a fair crack of the whip. Everyone, if they play well and they train well, are going to stay in the team. You know, if Miley starts and pulls the strings like an absolute expert conductor, then he's got a right to maybe try and stay in the team potentially, or with any of the above midfielders. But yeah, I think it's just politically correct as an answer, isn't it? Because with the way Bruno's been playing, like I think Bruno was a little bit below what he can be in recent months, and I think in the last few weeks he's certainly put his foot on the gas. He's so much better recently. Tonali's unplayable, and then the only, I guess, contentious spot is Joe Linton's been a little bit inconsistent this season, but is still a battering ram when he's on form. So. To be honest, I don't care. This is a lovely problem to have.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Well, he did say that numerous times. Yeah,
we'll take that.
He did.
Ramsey's fit, ready to go. Willock just got an assist. Is happy. Miley's played a bit recently. He's looked okay.
Yeah,
well, that's 6 midfielders. Absolutely fine. We'll take it.
Guys, don't forget. Delta Force has just reminded me on there. My dad got his TTR shirt. He's over the moon with it. He hasn't had it off.
He's got to wash it at some point.
Yeah, I would imagine so, yeah. But guys, just to remind you we do have a merchandise website, which is thetoonreview.com, where you can go for all your merch, mugs, T-shirts, hoodies, beanie hats. There's loads on there. You can scan the QR code that's on the screen now, or visit thetoonreview.com. That's thetoonreview.com for all your merchandise. So thank you to everybody that's ordered recently. Keeping our suppliers very, very busy indeed. And also, the QR code that's now on your screen is, of course, we've partnered back up with Lineup Builder for our graphics, and they have new football quizzes on their website. I've taken a couple of them myself. Alex, you would probably be interested in this, mate, because you are a football guru. There's loads of quizzes on there. There's Name That Player. There's all sorts of other things about regarding football. They change every day, so you can go on a daily basis and challenge yourself or your friends or family to some football knowledge. And as you can see there, scan that QR code now that's on the screen, or the link to the competitions and quizzes is right at the top of the show's description. So get yourself on there, challenge yourself, and see how well you can do on all the quizzes. And like I say, they change on a daily basis, so it never gets boring. Toon Joe, Derby is a week before. Could have done that. I mean, Sunderland on Boxing Day. I don't think the police would have been too pleased with that, Alex.
No,
not a chance in hell. Samsonite Dove says Ramsey is fast surpassing Joe Linton, in my opinion. Works better with Tonali. Dave Lamb, a member for 2 months. Thank you, Dave. Can you explain for my ignorance how gifting a membership works, gents? Well, basically, a lot of viewers who can't afford the membership will just register their name on their YouTube account to say if a gifted membership, would you accept the gifted membership? And you say yes. That's how it works. So if you, as you've done, Dave, you gifted a membership, somebody who's registered to receive a gifted membership, they've got 1 month membership, and then it's up to them if they want to continue at the end of that month. Peter Garthwaite says, given how bad West Ham are, do you think we could bring Walter Mada off the bench and start Asula? And would you start Ramsey ahead of J7? He won't start Asula because of the ankle problem, Alex, so that one's out the window straight away. I think Asula can only play a certain number of minutes at the minute.
Yes.
But I don't think you do that
to say
anyway.
there because you said the right thing. So I have nothing to add. Correct.
Sorry, can you say that again?
You are correct. Osula has an ankle injury. Will not
Fucking
start
hell,
because of
it
that.
is Halloween. My goodness me. Alex is just
One night a year,
giving
guys.
me
One
credit.
night a year.
Ah, dear. Warren says, good battering bent over, hasn't had it. What? Warren, I think you've been on the pop again, mate. Yeah, I don't know where you're coming from. Have you got any graphics tonight, Alex, by any chance? I'm not sure how things are going.
I mean, I've got a few. Yeah, I was perusing at some West Ham data. I can't say I've watched West Ham much. I think the last time I watched West Ham was that Forest game that someone mentioned earlier.
I haven't watched them at all because I can't. They're not. They're terrible to watch.
Well,
just before
I was
you
looking at their squad.
Spike's gifted a membership. Thank you very much, Spike. Hope you're well, matey. Sorry, I'll go on a minute.
I mean, I had some other things open, and I mean, we like to be realistic on this channel anyway. We don't want to be too scripted and boring. I was intrigued by who was in their squad because we were talking about them and just trying to figure out why they're so bad this season. Of course, they've got Nuno in, which it might change things. He's typically quite a good manager. So, I mean, scrolling down this list, I mean, you've got the Hungarian keeper, Wan-Bissaka's there at the moment. Kilman they bought in, didn't they? That was quite a lot of money. We were linked with him previously quite heavily. Igor Julio from Brazil. Mavropanos was obviously at West Ham. Jean-Claude Todibo, who Man United wanted. We wanted him at some point.
I'm sure we were linked with him as well, weren't we? Yeah.
Walker Peters has gone there from Southampton. They've still got Ward-Prowse, Rodriguez. I don't know Songutu Magasa, not a clue if he's any good or not. Souček's still there. I mean, I'd argue he's surely getting past it now. I mean, how old is he? Is he only 30? So, he is. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Thomas. I just thought you were considerably older than that.
I think he's been there a while, hasn't he?
He has. He's been there for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know enough about all of these players, but
that's a very good comment from Rebecca, by the way. Scripted and boring is not how I describe this channel ever. Thank you. Much appreciated.
I would rather take you through my inner monologue and just go through this together because that's what it's meant to be. Because doing a really, really boring scripted like analysis, I'd rather go through this with you guys because I just think it makes more sense. It means everybody can get stuck into the squad, what we're going to expect.
Absolutely.
I do think that there's going to be an absolute fire sale on this team if they go through the trapdoor because I think there's a lot of players in here that could play fantastic in another team, like Paqueta, Matheus Fernandes, Guilherme. You've got Somerville, who many top teams were linked with. I don't know why he ended up at West Ham. You would imagine Jared Bowen, there'd be fingers all over that. There's so many different players in this squad. Let's go to the stats, shall we? Top scorer is Bowen with 3 goals. Wilson's got 1, which we do know. Let's go and have a look at the team
one
data.
More than Isak's got in the Premier League, Alex.
I know. Well, we've scored the same, I believe.
Yeah.
Everybody watching, hats off. You've all scored as many goals as Alexander Isak this season. Credit to everybody.
In the Premier League.
Top mob rating for the season for West Ham is dead last. The ratings do not like West Ham. They think they are crap. Goals per match. I did drop a few of these stats earlier. 0.8 goals per match so far. Again, we are pretty early on in the season, so let's not completely write them off. Goals conceded per match is 2.2. They are bottom of the pack for goals conceded. This isn't XG or expected goals against. This isn't any of that woke stuff that I get called out on. This is legitimately how many goals they conceded per 90. Lots. Just generally lots. They are 15th for clean sheets. 1. They have 1 clean sheet. So if we don't score a goal, then we've had a really bad day at the office.
Yeah.
They're conceding 2.2 goals a game, and they've got 1 clean sheet. Like, we've got to score. We've absolutely got to score. Possession, they're very low down. So despite them being at home, I would certainly like us to have the lion's share of possession. Expected goals, 7.7 is bloody low. That's really low. I mean, hats off to Crystal Palace, by the way. 17.8 XG. That's incredible.
Yeah, they're flying.
We'll ignore the Northwestern team in that group. And to be honest, I'm not going to bore you. If you scroll down, they're pretty crap at everything. Penalties awarded.
That's one way of putting it, dear me.
I mean,
Straight to the point.
I'm not going to be rude to them, but they're. I'll just say
I'm
as
not
it
going to
is.
be. Hang on, you can't say I'm not going to be rude to them, but then you've just said they're crap at everything.
They are. Mate,
well,
look,
I mean, you've got the stats to back it up, I guess. Yes.
I mean, they're 18th for touches in the opposition box.
Well, that's pretty
they
shit.
don't know what the box looks like. They need a signpost for it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Jared Bourne must be sick of his life there at the minute, mustn't he? He must really be sick of his life at West Ham. It's just a quality player like him. It's just
he's
going
West
to
Ham
waste.
through and through, isn't he? And
well, he is. Yeah.
This is going back to the whole point of they won the Conference League, they sold Declan Rice, and they have not built on that success, which is not the player's fault. It's not Jared Bowen's fault that his employers have not reinvested it correctly.
Yep.
That's not Mr. Bowen's fault. That's just really bad luck. But this concerns me as well, Paul. This really concerns me. They're a defensive team. I mean, are they? Okay, they're not a very good team in terms of possession and attacking output, but they normally, with a defensive team that are struggling, they at least measure quite highly in tackles and interceptions because they're trying to stop the rot. They do low block. They try and win the ball back. But West Ham are near the bottom for interceptions and tackles. Like there isn't really any good reading here.
I'm surprised to see Wolves up there, by the way, Alex, in the just to the right there, in the tackles per match. Yeah, considering where they are.
Wolves were not bad against us, to be fair. They were not a bad team against us. I think we did scrape past that game at home as well. We weren't great, and we were there. It wasn't fantastic. Have we got predicted lineups from FOTMob? Yes, we have.
Probably, but whether they're just the same lineup from the other night. Oh, no, they're not, because, it is actually, because Emil Kraft's in there, Alex. Does Ramsdale.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So FOTMob.
So basically, it's the starting lineup from Wednesday night. Yeah, it's not.
It is. Okay, ignore this, guys. This is a very lazy developer who's sorted this out.
It is very lazy because I mean it's called a predicted lineup, and all this guy's done is let's just put the previous starting lineups on.
I can't run SofaScore with the VPN on, so let me pause my VPN and I'll bring up.
I'll just read a couple of super chats. By the way, Chris at Evermore, good evening to you, matey. Wilson starting for them by the sound of it. Yeah, that seems to be the noise coming out of West Ham. WD says, I think we're getting to the stage where as long as Tonali or Bruno starts, the midfield looks solid. And Warren says, not had a drink, just irritating according to you. He's off on one. Chris says Sports Mall said it. Well, a Sports Mall said it, mate. It's fact.
I don't know who that is. Who is Sports Mall?
Well, there you go. So that is more
this
of
is
a
predicted lineup. So this is, in my opinion, more likely to be correct because I feel like somebody's sat down, had to think, and put this on as opposed to just putting the last lineup up. So ours is a little bit more realistic.
Well, Tonali's not there, Alex, which I find a little bit weird.
Yeah. No Botman either. Interesting. But again, if it's somebody you can't, if you're employed by SofaScore, you're not going to be specifically a Newcastle United fan. So you've got to try and do your best educated guess of every team. We know Newcastle United better than somebody who is a generic football nerd because we watch them every week. So it's not a bad shout. It's fair enough. But yeah, it's probably not correct. West Ham's Somerville, Jared Bowen. I mean that's pretty scary to me. I don't feel like this is terrible. I mean, Fernandez was a very underrated player. Is that the same Fernandez that was at Southampton, or am I making that up? I don't know if I'm having a brain fart there. I don't hate this team. I think Kilman's a good defender. Todibo's a good defender. Ariela's a fantastic goalkeeper, or has been historically. Wan-Bissaka's a good defensive right back. I don't know much about Magasa as a holding midfielder.
Was Ariola the PSG goalkeeper, Alex? I'm sure. Did he play?
He was once upon a time, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we reviewed him before we got Nick Pope. When we did a big goalkeeper show, we did we literally did a deep dive on everybody. So he's a good goalkeeper. Paqueta as well. I know he seems a bit inconsistent. He's a good player. Somerville's great. Jared Bowen, we know he's fantastic. Wilson, Fox in the box. It's not a terrible side. Like, it's not great, but it's not 19th.
It's not. They're not a 90. I know what you're saying, Alex. They're not a 19th place team, but hey, we've seen in the past, teams that not necessarily are relegation teams. We've seen them go down, us included, a couple of times.
Wolves is a good example. I don't think Wolves were that bad against us, but they're propping up the Premier League.
Or is that just because we haven't really hit the heights yet, Alex? Because I mean,
we're talking about that was a number of weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. So. Well, Eddie was asked that today, mate, about the away form, and he answered the question honestly. Yeah. You what, mate?
Wolves was at home, and we weren't great.
Yeah. But the away form and the sort of lack of goals, and Eddie was like, "Well, hang on, we were very good against Aston Villa and should have won that game." He says Leeds and Bournemouth were good defensive performances, but we didn't turn up attacking wise. So there is, Eddie did turn around and say there is no reason for us not to play away from home like we do at home. He was openly honest about that, and I think that's
categorically is, and that's the energy in the crowd. That absolutely is.
Yeah, but he means. I think he means tactically wise, Alex. The way he sets us out to play is no different, and he doesn't.
Yeah, but there's always going to be an element of energy is important.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
They're more up for it at home.
Yeah.
Even Malik Chow was when he did that slide tackle, he turned to the Gallagher and he went, "Come on!" Like, and Malik Chow's just signed for the club, so the fact that he feels at home enough to do that at St James's Park, like it is different. It is categorically different at home. It just is.
He spoke about the love he has for his players, and he mentioned that 2 or 3 times in the press conference, the word love and his players. And there seems to be a real bond in that dressing room now. Forget what happened in the summer. There is that unity back in the dressing room. And that's why I think we'll turn up on Sunday and absolutely batter these. I really am confident. Peter, thank you for gifting the Toon Review membership, matey. That's very, very kind. Thank you, bud. Right. Well, why is Lascelles in there, Alex? Just a quick question.
We were messing around the other night, weren't we?
Yeah, please get that 5 at the back off the screen immediately. Let's not scare people too much on Halloween, Alex.
Let's just get this all sorted, shall we? Mr. Kieran, where are you? There you are. There we go.
Because Nick Pope will definitely be playing.
Nah, Ramsdale's much better.
Not in Eddie's eyes.
And
not
necessarily.
He could have said it this morning, mate. He's as good as said it this morning.
He can't. He literally can't say it. Even if he does think it, he can't and he won't say it. But yeah, that's the. I mean, Sophie thinks that Miley's going to start. Really?
Well, Chris says I've just shit myself seeing Lascelles. Yeah. Samsonite Dove's gifted a membership as well. Thank you, Samsonite. Very kind of you indeed. Right, Alex, in the old hospital on the right-hand side, I think we need to move Lewis Hall into the straps.
Oh, what about Botman?
He says Botman's fit to play, so he can come out of there.
Botman can go over there then.
Yeah,
right.
But
so
I think
probably.
I think he starts Botman in. I think he starts Botman mid. I think Botman and Chow start the game.
Yeah, get to rest because he's only just come back.
Well, not that. I mean, I don't think he's going to break that partnership up when available. Certainly in the Premier League.
How many subs can we have? 9.
Yeah, he did talk about leaving players out and how they respond to that. And that came around from a question he was asked about Aaron Ramsdale. How has he found, coming in on Wednesday night? It seemed a seamless transition. The defenders all worked well together. Made some great saves, commanded his box very well, and he said it's a measure of
he did
absolutely
everything well,
but it's a measure of his attitude, and he says his attitude's been fantastic, and basically is an example to other players of how the attitude to have when you're not in the team is just to keep working, be part of the squad. He says Aaron's come in. He's had a fantastic attitude with us. He's a very, very much a team player. He's a leader in the dressing room as well. Even though you're not playing, it's the perfect way to demonstrate what you do when you're not in the starting lineup. And I thought that was a very good point that Eddie made.
I mean, we are at home. When's that? Is that Wednesday?
Yes.
Yeah. We're Wednesday at home against Athletic Club in...
Well, I thought you might have said that in your normal Spanish accent there. Club.
Do it in the Rafa voice, yeah?
Absolutely. Yes. Athletic Club.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few shouts for rotational options here because Tonali's just got back to... Well, I think it's impossible to say he's not fully match sharp considering how good he was against Spurs.
Well, he said he was asked about Tonali, Alex, and said he was very, very fit and he's back to full fitness, but obviously because he missed the game before, he did sort of tire at the end of the game, which is why, which is normal. But I don't think there's any doubt he doesn't start Tonali, Alex. I think he realises we need to start moving up the Premier League and not get too far behind. And I think if we're winning the game comfortably, he'll make a few changes in preparation for Wednesday.
Joe has more chance of a rest than Ramsey in. Yeah, but Joelinton didn't start against Spurs, did he? No, he didn't. Because Willock started. It was Willock and Ramsey. So why Joe has to start. But Joelinton and Bruno, neither of them started against Spurs. So they
it's not just fitness with Joelinton, Alex. I think a lot of fans are saying that he hasn't hit the heights yet form-wise. He's not playing very well.
I don't think that matters.
Why?
Dan Burn is Exhibit A. It doesn't matter if Dan Burn had a bad game.
He doesn't really have a choice with Dan Burn, does he? At left back.
Even when we were talking about centre half positions, I'm not just on about okay, fair enough. At the moment, it's because there is not another option. But historically, whether it was centre half, left back, we had Hall available, we had other centre halves available. He did still go with Dan Burn when Dan Burn was having a nightmare. So I don't think Joelinton has had enough bad games for him to just lose favour. Not yet. He's not reached that level. He's still got the trust of the manager. And if Joelinton is fit, he will categorically play. I'll be surprised if Joelinton doesn't play.
Tell you what, there is a few people saying that he's lost form, Alex, and that a change was
You're not wrong.
necessary.
All of you are correct. All of you are absolutely 100% correct. And I agree with all of you who are saying that. The problem is it takes a long time for Eddie Howe to cut that cord. Like, he gives players a lot of, if they have bad games, if it's one of his tried and trusted, he gives them so much time. He gives them so many games of mistakes before he will rotate.
It's a good point. We have Warren back again. According to the West Ham channel, Bissaka being crap. Come on, Anthony Gordon. He hasn't been playing very well. Samsonite Dove says Chow actually played left back at Schalke.
Did he? Well,
I didn't know that.
I don't think I've watched him at Schalke. I mean, maybe I did because I've seen Schalke historically.
I just knew him from Milan. Spike, thank you for gifting another membership, matey. That is extremely kind of you. And Martin with a super chat. Do we not think it's a good game to give Chow a rest, ready for the Champions League?
No. Rest
Does
for what?
He need a rest though? Yeah.
No, he's a centre half. What are you talking about?
I think we need to keep Chow in, Martin. To be honest,
of being a dinosaur and not honouring my name on this channel of being Stato. Don't be so woke. He's a centre half. He does not run that far. He's fine.
Yeah, he looks in fantastic. His fitness looks incredible, to be honest. And I think
if Burn keeps playing at left back, Chow can keep playing at centre half.
Yeah, I don't think he needs a rest just yet. Let's see where we are. Second half of the season. Hopefully we're still in all the competitions and the games come thick and fast. Then I think he will rotate everybody. To be fair, but you know what? It's a good point, Martin. He might do that if he feels that Botman and Shea can come in. Paul? You want
me? Is the forward line?
Well, I think Gordon starts 100%. Well, it's always the right side, isn't it? We ask questions about at the minute. It's always
pretty good in the last.
Yeah, he has.
Couple of weeks.
Absolutely. He's scoring goals. He's getting assists. I agree. I think Murphy starts the game. I think Elanga did okay second half on Wednesday night, but I don't think he's done enough to dislodge Murphy out of the right.
Absolutely.
But of course, he's got the option of Barnes there now, who Barnes is playing very well as well at the minute. But I just think Murphy and his contribution so far this season has been absolutely superb and probably deserves the start.
Oh, absolutely he does. Yeah. His goal contributions is, well, full stop. His goal contributions, full stop. That is it. He has to play because he's more impactful. Yeah. I mean, there's an argument that Barnes is also similar, but
Nathan says, I wouldn't be surprised to see Botman on the bench and Chow and Shea combo again. Well, it depends how his head injury is. I mean, if there's any risk, they'll not play him, but Eddie didn't seem to suggest there was any problem.
Yeah, but Shah's only just come back from injury. So he's had one game back, and we're going to play him. Surely we want to be slow with him to make sure.
I think if Botman's fit, he doesn't break that partnership up, because I genuinely think that Botman Chow is the partnership that he wants, especially in the Premier League and Champions League. Those two are, for me, undroppable. Botman needs to come back in. We need to play our best players.
Devil's advocate here, Paul. Devil's advocate, because I love the Botman Chow partnership. I think it is the future, and they're brilliant. But they're not infallible. To be fair, they were against Brighton. They just got walked through the middle of.
Well, yeah, but that's going to happen, isn't it? There's going to be they will make mistakes at some point.
100%. And
I've got to make mistakes to get better, haven't they?
100%. But we do criticize Byrne and Sharon and other centre halves when they make mistakes. So we have to put it up there and say that they're not. You know, that they've played a few games together, and there has already been goals conceded due to issues. So we've got to put a pin in that and just say they're not perfect. But at the same time, again, Botman's 25, Chow's 24. So they're, for a centre-half partnership in the Prem, they're very young. Very, very young.
Well, Sophie reckons that Botman comes in for 30 minutes at the end of the game to get some sharpness for the Champions League. It's an interesting decision, but he's in a... It's a luxury now for Eddie Howe that he's in this position that he's able to do that, is actually have headaches over player selection. And I think you take that every day rather than have a threadbare squad where he's got to put players in for literally 90 minutes of time every 3 or 4 days. It's a very different scenario that he's in right now, which is fantastic. But I do believe that'll be the lineup. I mean, you know, Eddie will probably throw a curveball in there at some point leading up to the game, or when he announces his team, there'll always be a talking point.
Ramsey, maybe. I think that's unlikely.
It's Joe Linton. It's Ramsey or Joe Linton for me.
Yeah, but Ramsey played, 80 minutes, 70 minutes?
Yeah.
Played a lot of minutes, and Willock.
Yep. And they are still managing Ramsey back to fitness as well. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know if you throw them back in, even if they were outstanding. Like, you just...
I agree, but I think whatever decision he makes, the 11 that we put out will certainly be good enough to beat West Ham, or should be good enough to beat West Ham. So that leads us nicely into the predictions. Get your predictions in the chat, guys, before we go. Let us know how you're feeling and what you think the score will be. Alex, give us a score. Did you get the Tottenham game right, by the way? What did you say? I don't think anybody said 2-0, did they? I'm sure you might have said 2-1, actually.
I think I said 2-1.
Yeah.
I was close, but
I said 2-2.
They should have scored a goal, but Richarlison was just absolutely rubbish. So
he's dog shit. Lots of confidence in the chat, Alex. 3-0s, 4-0s, 3-1s. Yeah, there is some real positivity in the chat.
Based on everything we've talked about tonight, they're conceding 2.2 goals per game on average. I think we're better than average, and I think we are starting to ramp up in our performances. I'm going to go with 3, and I think that's got to be the benchmark. I think we want to hit 3 goals. I think it could be more, but I'm going to go with 3. They're scoring 0.8 a game. They're not looking very good. They've got an XG of 7.7 this season. It's pretty bad. They're going to have Callum up front, most likely.
Yeah.
just to cover my ass, I'm going to say that they're going to score 1, and it is going to be Callum Wilson, and we're going to win 3-1.
I can't believe you still think we're going to concede goals, Alex, when we've got such a brilliant defensive record this season. I'm going 4-0. Listen, it's very rare as a Newcastle fan that we get to sit here and be confident about a football match. We're always saying, "Oh yeah, but it's Newcastle."
Wrong, when we're confident.
Yeah, it's Newcastle. It's Newcastle. They always, let us down and say, I don't think we're that team anymore. And you can clip that comment if you want, if we lose the game, but I genuinely don't think we're going to. I think we're going to go to West Ham on Sunday, and we're going to make their situation even worse. We'll have, hopefully, most of their fans walking out with 10 minutes to go because the game is dead and buried. And let's just hope we keep Callum quiet and we silence the London Stadium, or silence it more than it already is, because there is literally no atmosphere in that ground.
Is that what it's called? The London Stadium?
Yeah, the London Stadium, yeah. Because it was the London Stadium when the Olympics were on, wasn't it? And they haven't...
I forgot that
they haven't had a sponsor for it or anything. So, yeah. I
feel very sorry for West Ham fans. You've been put through the ring. You got promised a new stadium, and you're about 10 miles from the pitch. You won the Conference League, and then they've done this to you with investment. It's awful.
It is bloody horrible. Warren says Voltemade was attacking midfielder in Germany. Wisser in J7 Ut. Well, Wisser's not fit, mate. Wisser won't be back for Sunday. And Peter says
long term play.
Well, long term's going to be interesting.
In the same...
Yeah. I mean, we'll have to see, won't we?
Playing Voltemade as like an 8. Crazy behavior. I mean, it might work, but
it might.
It's not going to happen.
And Eddie's probably already had those conversations. What do we do when Wisser comes back? Let's take a look at the options. We'll see. Well, Peter says, would you start Botman and Share and Chow at left back?
No.
He won't drop Dan Burn. I'm telling you now, if he drops Dan Burn, it will shock the world. So I genuinely don't think so. Biff by Adam West, we're member for 4 months, says, Paul, there's a sit-in protest for West Ham supporters, so they're staying to the end. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I mean, they just don't like their owners or the board right now. They're
rubbish, aren't they? So fair enough.
But there you go, guys. That is the show done and dusted. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your super chats, memberships, etc. Don't forget to visit the Lineup Builders quiz webpage that is pinned at the top of our description. Go and challenge yourself to some footballing questions. And of course, visit the toonreview.com for all your merchandise. We will be back on Sunday, 1:30 for a 2:00 kickoff with the Match Day live show. Warren says, West don't own the stadium. It costs them a fortune. Yeah,
it's a 100-year lease.
It's something like that. It's something ridiculous, but listen, not our problem. Let's just hope our stadium gets sorted shortly. But thank you, mods. Thank you, Alex. And as usual, a massive thank you to you guys out there. Please give it a like if you've enjoyed the show. And of course, if you're new around here and you like what you see, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. All we ask for is that you hit the notification bell so you never miss any uploads or live shows on the channel. Well, thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back on Sunday. Good night.
Away the lads and lasses.
Come back and check out the breeze.